Hello viewers, here is a General Electric 2.4 gigahertz, probably analog cordless phone, model 27831GE1. This was made by the Thomson Consumer Electronics in around 2006, and I picked this up at the thrift store today. The box, unfortunately, is not in very good condition, but the phone itself appeared to be unused. So let's take a look. First is the handset, which I went ahead and took out in the store to make sure that everything was in good condition, and then I didn't want to take out anything else because it's packaged up like this. So we've got the screen protector still on there, and the sticker. Or no, this is not even a sticker, it's just a piece of paper. The phone is not deteriorated at all. And there is a serial number sticker. It's got a very interesting design on the side. It's got a decent amount of grip to it. I'll go ahead and take off the screen protector. Whoops. Yeah, there's still some particles on the screen there. For at least 16 hours of charging, wow. Alright. Oh yeah, and this was on top of the handset. So I guess it should have been inside of this. But it was not when I got it. And the papers are still inside of the bag. So let's take a look at all these. We have the English and Spanish user's guides, and a crumpled up important safety instructions page. Let's just take a quick look at this. Unfortunately, it's one of these annoying folding ones. And of course you can pause to read this if you want to. Hopefully it's all visible. Trying to make sure it doesn't have too much glare. But I'm going to see if I can figure out how to use this thing on my own first. Knowing GE, I'll probably need to refer to this because they like to make things needlessly confusing. Or at least companies that brand their phones, GE. Got some kind of sticky sticker in here, that's kind of weird. And it's a BYD battery. That's interesting. These apparently will rarely show up on Uniden phones. It's a nickel cadmium. It's got a date code, I think, of 0750. So that could indicate that it was made in late 2007, although I don't know how to decrypt these codes exactly. I'm guessing the stickers to help keep the battery from rattling around in there. So there's this piece of paper which says to charge for 16 hours and gives you the correct polarity for the battery connection. And it did actually make a sound out of the speaker when I plugged it in, so apparently it might still have a bit of a charge. Maybe it was just barely a charge. Huh. Really interesting. Okay, so I will stick this on here, I think, on the cover itself. It's pretty sticky on one side. Wow, this is one of the biggest battery covers I've ever seen. Right? So the phone actually sits quite well in my hand. And it doesn't feel that good against my ear, but if I can sort of cup this part inside my ear, it feels okay. It's got a pretty nice button arrangement. A very large talk button. And the format button, I'm guessing, is for programming. And it has a ringer on-off switch. And then we've got the phone line cord. Which is about 6 feet long. And it's, of course, a standard single line cord. And then we've got the base. And do we have a power adapter in here? Uh-oh. There might not be an adapter. Yep, I don't see one in here. It doesn't feel like there's anything else in here. Nope. So apparently this didn't have the adapter, which is pretty weird. Let's see if it says what kind it takes. 7.5 volts. I do have a 7.5 volt adapter, but it may not be the right size. And does it say what kind of current it takes? Nope. Wow, okay, that's a shame. Okay, so the handset doesn't really rest all the way back in there, but it seems to fit in there okay. Let's see if the manual says exactly what kind of adapter it takes. It's not saying exactly what kind of adapter it takes. Alright, I'm going to see if I can look up this model number of the adapter and see if I can find out exactly what voltage and milliamp rating it calls for. Okay, so I found one that might work with it. It's this one. It's from my old Capella weather radio that no longer works, although I might try to repair it, but at any rate, the plug on this probably won't fit in properly because it's too long. But it seems like it should stand up okay anyway. So let me go over to the... Oh, it's not long enough. Okay. Let me just plug this in. Alright, so it appears to be working. The light came on, and the screen came on. The backlight was also on. Oh yeah, there we go. The backlight is repeatedly turning on and off, so that's not a good sign. Okay. I'm just going to let it sit here and charge up for a few minutes. Okay, it's been charging for about 15 minutes now. So let me plug in the testing phone line and see how the phone works. So there's the backlight. It's not very bright, but it's a nice green color. So I was reading the manual. The program, flash call wait program, is how you program it. Alright, so there's language selection, area code, ringer tone. Yup. Typical selection of ringtones for a GE phone. Not exactly a variety. How do you save it? I guess you just press program? Yeah, that did indeed save it. I don't know what format does. Couldn't see anything in the manual about it. Alright, caller ID brings up no calls. And memory is empty, I think. You can see up there in the corner the number of updates with each different location that I'm going to. Okay. Message waiting is off. Alright, I think I want to keep that off. Redial is empty too. So let's turn it on. Okay. And it's on channel 6.
Is not in service. If you feel you have reached this recording, please hang up the number and try your call again. Thank you. The number you have reached.
I'd say it sounds pretty good, even on level 4. It doesn't let very much background noise through at all. And the flash does indeed work. So let's see if the talk button turns it off, and then we'll see it ringing. Yep. So that seems to work perfectly. Let's try changing the channel.
Five, 7, 2, 6, 7.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what format does. So now let's call up the voicemail system and leave a testing message. And by the way, at first I forgot to show this feature, but this is what the paging does. It's not really that loud, but it's probably loud enough. And I also noticed this phone has a place for a headset jack, or at least what could be. But that was never added to this model for real. And same goes for the belt clip. I found some old reviews on Amazon for this phone, and they indicated that it never even came with one from the factory, which is kind of interesting. Not really surprising, but since it has these holes, I at least expected it to have come with one. My favorite thing that I found in those reviews, though, was the price range. Somebody bought it at a retail store for $15, so that's a little cheaper than I thought, honestly. It's definitely a cheap phone, but I never realized just how cheap they could go back then. I don't even know if you can get a cordless phone like this today for $15, at least not new. Alright, let's listen to the messages.
At 2:55 p.m. This is a testing message on the GE. What is the model of 27831GE1? And the low battery beeped right there. So, goodbye. To repeat, press 4. To forward a erasing message. Second, new voice message received today at 3:07 p.m. This is another testing message after the battery charged up some. My tone's not very good, so hopefully, or like it's kind of cutting in and out, so hopefully that's not an indication of how the actual transmission is. But I wanted to hear how it sounds to change the channel, so here we go with that. Change it once again. And that'll be it. To repeat, press 4. Erasing message. End of.
Alright, so I think it actually sounds okay. The, message waiting off. Huh. The, voice transmission was a little bit spotty, kind of like the side tone. It was like, almost sounded like it was having the beginnings of some gain control issues, but I think it still sounds okay. So, there we go. I guess that's about it for this initial checkout of the General Electric 27831GE1, made by Thomson Consumer Electronics. Thanks for watching.